Hi. So I'll be talking about the second tale in the Ghostly Tales book, the one that I said, oh yeah, these videos are going to be all about this from here on out, until I lied and did two other videos before I got back to it. But this one took me a while to read, not because I wasn't interested. I was hooked with the title. This one is the old nurse's story, and the picture that they have to go with it, I'll show here. That just got me. I'm like, oh, I'm excited about this one. So this one starts out, you're kind of following a nurse and it's in Victorian time. All these stories are in Victorian time. So any house that they talk about, you imagine it's going to be like, well, an old Victorian, like an old, like, mansion type house. Which the house in this one kind of is. The way they describe it, different wings of it. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. So this woman, this nurse, she's kind of helping this mother out who just had a baby. So the baby lost both parents. I don't remember if they mentioned the dad in the beginning. They might have, but I started it like literally after the first video came out, just because of one thing or another. They might have mentioned the dad, but for sake of it, let's say they did, but if they don't and you read it later, I said I didn't know. Don't hold me to it. But anyway, so the nurse ends up needing to take care of this baby because she did lose. Oh, yeah, that would make sense. So she lost both her parents. And so the nurse ends up going back to the family home to take care of her because there are servants, because it's a pretty big place. And the servants and everyone around the house knows of the baby and they're all helping taking care of her. Everything seems to be going pretty well until it starts to creep into winter. Then things really take a turn, and I'm like, oh, I'm excited about this because there's a piano, or they call it an organ, and it starts playing at night. And of course, the normal story of, oh, no one's played it in such a long time, you're hearing things. But I'm like, oh, something about that always gets me excited. I don't know if it's because of Haunted Mansion or, just any kind of book that always seems to, whenever there's some kind of piano or some kind of musical instrument like that, it always seems to get played. So that starts happening. And the girl is getting a little bit older, not like, grown up status, but she's getting a little bit older. She's learning how to talk in the story and so forth. And then one thing happens one night where she sees a little girl. Yeah. Yeah. So I think the picture is supposed to be that little girl because you see the footsteps. Actually, no, I think it's the. I'm getting ahead of myself, but I think it's actually the girl in the story following the girl she sees. And without getting too involved in it, because I feel like I've already kind of said the whole story, but I mean, you would see how I just couldn't stop. Once I was able to finish it, I finished it the rest of that day. So I got about like halfway through, and the book is right next to me. That's why I'm looking at it. So I got about like halfway through one day, and then I couldn't pick it back up until like now. Like I literally finished it like an hour ago, and I'm like, I need to talk about this because this one really excited me. The first one was good. I was into it, but this one, the way this ended, like it was one of those things where it was like I put it down and I'm like, oh, yeah, it was one of those. So there's pianos being played, there's ghostly figures around that, of course, a little girl would see, but also the adults know about her. So you kind of learn the story of this little girl. And there's just so much involved in this. And I think so. This was about most of these tales in this book are about 20-ish pages because it says on here, I have it open to it. It says on here, it started on page 33, which, I mean, doesn't really make a difference to you what page number it started at, but it ended at 56. So all these tales are decent sized tales. You know, they're not just like 5 pages long and you're done with it. You get really involved. And in this one, I got really involved when I could read it. I feel like if things didn't happen in between me picking it up originally and picking it up again, sounds better. If things weren't happening in between there where I had to put it back down for a while, I probably would have finished it in 2 days. Oh, and if you're wondering who wrote this short story, so I feel bad for not mentioning the author of the first one in the video, but this one is by Elizabeth Gaskell. So I'm excited about the next one. I'm excited to talk to you about that one, and I'm gonna get back into it. So, you know what? I'm not even gonna say that's what the next videos are gonna be about, because I feel like every time I set it up for you guys, it doesn't happen. But I hope you enjoyed this new background. I'm really liking it. So I don't know if you guys watched the Decorate With Me video. I finally plugged him in. And so this crow is actually a light now. So if you're wondering what that yellow boring light is behind this purple light, that's mainly like my reading light. It helps me read. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.